Let's get into it. Nobody expected this. Not the fans, not the league, and maybe not even the player himself. But right now, behind closed doors, there's a serious conversation happening that could flip the entire future of the Golden State Warriors upside down. A former Warrior, a player once paid $27.6 million, a name that still splits the fan base, could be coming back to the Bay after a blockbuster trade scenario that's sending shockwaves through NBA circles. And the craziest part? This isn't just nostalgia. This isn't a feel-good reunion story. This is about survival, championship pressure, and one last, desperate push to maximize the prime of Stephen Curry. Because make no mistake, the Warriors are at a crossroads right now. You can feel it in every loss. You can see it in every late-game collapse. You can hear it in the silence after games where the shots don't fall and the defense doesn't hold. This dynasty, the one that terrorized the NBA for nearly a decade, is fighting time itself, and that's exactly why this rumor refuses to die. A former max-level Warrior, a two-way wing, a player who knows the system, knows the pressure, knows what it means to play next to Steph under the brightest lights. Someone the front office once believed in enough to hand over $27.6 million. Someone they let go, but may now be forced to bring back. Because the truth is brutal. The Warriors don't need experiments anymore. They don't need long-term projects. They don't need maybe in 3 years. They need answers. They need size. They need defense. They need someone who can guard elite wings without Steph having to play superhero every night. And that's where this potential reunion starts to make terrifying sense. Think about it. When this player was last in Golden State, the expectations were enormous. Too enormous, maybe. He wasn't just supposed to fit in, he was supposed to replace someone, to become something bigger than himself. And that weight? It crushed him at times. Inconsistent scoring, confident swings, fans questioning effort, media narratives spiraling out of control. You see it every time they face elite wings. You see it when bigger teams punish them on the glass. You see it when Draymond has to cover everyone at once. This roster, as currently constructed, asks Steph Curry to be perfect. And that's not sustainable. The league has changed. The West is deeper, younger, more physical. And while Steph is still magical, still capable of dropping 40 on any given night, the margin for error around him is gone. That's why this trade idea keeps resurfacing. Because the Warriors aren't just thinking about talent. They're thinking about familiarity, fit, and trust. They know exactly what this former $27.6 million player is, and what he is not. They know his flaws. They know his strengths. They know how he responds to pressure. And more importantly, he knows them. He knows Steve Kerr's system. He knows the spacing. He knows when to cut, when to screen, when to defend without fouling. There's no learning curve here, just execution. Now let's talk about the trade side of this, because this is where it gets wild. For Golden State to even consider bringing him back, something big has to move. Contracts don't just magically fit. Salaries have to match. Assets have to be attached. And yes, that means young players, draft capital, rotation pieces. This isn't a small tweak. This is a statement. It tells the league the Warriors are done waiting. It tells the locker room the front office is choosing the present over the future. And that's a risky message. Because when you make a move like this, there's no going back. You're saying, this is Steph's team and we're all in. No half measures, no development timelines, no patience, just pressure. And here's where emotions come into play. Imagine this player walking back into Chase Center, wearing Warriors colors again. Same court, same crowd, same expectations, but a different version of himself. More mature, more experienced. Less concerned with proving he's a star, more focused on winning. That's the version Golden State is betting on. Because if this reunion works, suddenly the Warriors look dangerous again. Suddenly the defense tightens, the rebounding improves, the rotations make sense. Suddenly Steph doesn't have to carry every possession, and suddenly, playoff teams stop seeing Golden State as vulnerable. But if it fails, if the inconsistency returns, if the confidence wavers, if the fan base turns hostile again, then this move becomes a symbol of desperation. And that's the tightrope the Warriors are walking. What makes this even more intense is the timing. The league knows Golden State is under pressure. Other front offices are watching, waiting, trying to extract maximum value. Because everyone understands this truth. Steph Curry's window is finite. Every season matters. Every playoff run matters. Every missed opportunity hurts more than the last. And that's why the idea of bringing back a former $27.6 million player isn't as crazy as it sounds. It's familiar risk versus unknown risk. And right now, Golden State is choosing familiar. Choosing someone who's already been through the fire. Choosing someone who won't shrink under the spotlight. Because the Warriors don't need another highlight player, they need a stabilizer. Someone who can defend elite scorers without fouling. Someone who can rebound in traffic. Someone who doesn't need plays called for him to impact the game. And yes, someone whose contract can be part of a bigger, cleaner trade puzzle. This is chess, not checkers. And the front office knows the clock is ticking. Fans are divided on this. Some are saying, why go backward? Others are saying, this is exactly what we need. And honestly, both sides are right. Because this move isn't about perfection. It's about maximizing what's left. Steph is still elite. Draymond still matters. The system still works. But the margin is razor thin. And sometimes the safest gamble is the one you've already made before. So now the question isn't if this idea makes sense. The question is whether Golden State has the courage to pull the trigger, whether they're willing to live with the consequences. Because once this trade happens, if it happens, the message is clear. The Warriors are done experimenting. They're done waiting. They're chasing one more run. And they're willing to bring back a former $27.6 million player to do it. This isn't just a rumor. This is a warning to the West, to the league, and to anyone who thinks the dynasty is already dead. Because Golden State might be preparing one last surprise, and if it works, the NBA is in trouble all over again.